วัสดีครับทุกคนวันนี้เราก็กลับมาสู่ไลฟ์ IDP ของเรากันอีกแล้วนะครับวันนี้ปกติเราจะมีทุกเซสชั่นเราทุกวันเนี่ยจะมีเวลาบ่ายโมงตรงเนอะแต่ว่าวันนี้เนื่องจากเรามีแขกพิเศษครับยิงตรงมาจากประเทศอังกฤษเลยนั่นคือคุณเอมมี่แชนเลอร์เจ้าหน้าที่ศึกษาต่อประเทศอังกฤษนะครับจากมหาวิทยาลัย The University of Exeter วันนี้ครับท่านก็จะมาเป็นแขกรับเชิญพิเศษของเราในการพูดถึง Business School ของมหาวิทยาลัย The University of Exeter แล้วก็เหตุผลของเราที่เราควรทราบครับว่า5เหตุผลที่นักเรียนไทยควรไปเรียนมหาวิทยาลัยด้านบริหารธุรกิจที่อังกฤษ5เหตุผลนี้มีอะไรบ้างนะครับวันนี้พี่แบงก์ก็อยู่กับคุณเอมี่นะครับเดี๋ยวเซสชั่นวันนี้เราจะใช้ภาษาอังกฤษในการพูดคุยกันแต่แน่นอนครับในระหว่างที่เรา presentation ไปอาจจะมีบางช่วงที่พี่แบงก์จะหยุดแล้วก็แปลเป็นภาษาไทยให้กับน้องๆทุกคนนะครับวันนี้ถ้าเกิดน้องๆเข้ามาในเซสชั่นวันนี้แล้วพี่แบงก์ขออนุญาตขอความช่วยเหลือจากพวกเราเนอะกดคลิกไลค์กดแชร์วิดีโอนี้ให้กับพวกเราหน่อยนะครับเผื่อเพื่อนๆของตัวน้องเองจะได้เห็นวิดีโอนี้ด้วยแล้วก็จะได้เป็นข้อมูลที่เป็นประโยชน์ไปด้วยกันนะครับผมวันนี้ครับท็อปิกที่เราจะมาคุยกันคือ Top 5 Reasons to Study Business School in the UK Presentation โดย The University of Exeter นะครับวันนี้ guest speaker ของเราเตรียมพร้อมแล้วครับ Hi Amy good morning
Hi good morning
Yes it has been a very long time since we met in Thailand I think it was the last time we met each other was 2019
Yeah that's right it's lovely to see you
Right, just before the outbreak in March, and then I remember everyone was so shocked on the outbreak and have to fly back to the UK.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are so good to have you, and we are so delighted to see that you are staying healthy and safe during this time. So you must be missing travel, right?
Yeah, I miss Thailand. I definitely do. Although we're quite lucky here in Exeter today. We have a blue sky and it's summer, so it's quite nice here as well. But yeah, I definitely miss you all. I miss coming over. So hopefully we'll come back soon.
Yes, a nice and sunny day is always a treasure to keep.
Yes.
Well, we're having a session today to talk with you on the top 5 reasons for students to consider study business in the UK. And we specifically choose the University of Exeter because the university is really highly ranked and also have very good popularities in Thailand. A lot of students have their inquiries on the rankings, on the tuition cost, and the cost structure for the universities. So today we look to dive more into the detail of why the University of Exeter might be a good fit for them.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Okay, so Amy, could you please introduce yourself to our audience today?
Yeah, okay. So my name's Amy Chandler. I'm the Regional Manager for the Asia Pacific, and I'm based here in Exeter. So I'm working from home today. But yeah, I'm going to talk you through all about our business school. And then,
all right. Yes. So shall we share the screen?
Yeah. Great. Okay. So yeah, this is me, Amy Chandler. And I'm based in Exeter. So Exeter's based in the southwest of England, down here. So here's Exeter. We're 2.5 hours from London by train, and we have a very small campus down here in Cornwall as well, which is 5 hours from London. So we're very blessed with a very beautiful campus and a very beautiful student lifestyle. So this is what you can expect in the southwest of England. A lot of people think of England as London, but in the southwest, we are by the beach. We have a national park. It's a really nice student lifestyle here in Exeter. So like Pac said, we're going to talk today about 5 reasons to study business in the UK. So these are really the top 5 reasons that I've listed below. And we're going to go through them in a bit more detail. So first of all, England generally has many top-ranked, triple-accredited business schools. Exeter is one of the very top-ranked business schools in the UK, and I'm going to tell you a bit about the accreditations and our rankings in a moment. Also, if you go to business school in England, the employability services within the business school have great connections to business, so they can help you with your future employability, and that's really important. Exeter is actually currently #1 in the UK for graduate destinations, which means that a lot of our graduates go into graduate jobs, really good jobs with global companies, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about that. The third reason would be the quality of teaching and the courses that have excellent module choice. So modules is like a name for the subjects or the classes that we teach within the course. And at Exeter and many UK universities, you actually have a choice and you get to select the modules that are most relevant to you or that you feel most passionate about or that you want to learn more about that particular area. So that's a really good thing about choosing to study in the UK. Also, the UK is really responsible for a lot of top research, and we have leading academics teaching, particularly if you're doing a master's degree, you'll be taught by some of the top academics in the UK who are currently doing their own research, and often they'll bring their research into the teaching, which makes it a lot more interesting. They talk very passionately about their area of study and what they're researching at that time, and sometimes you can even volunteer to be involved. Finally, location and lifestyle. So location within the UK is really important. So you get a lot of choice about where you study in the UK. And I'm going to tell you a bit about the Southwest in this presentation.
ครับคุณเอมมี่ครับก็ได้พูดถึง5เหตุผลหลักๆนะครับที่ทำไมถึงการไปเรียนต่อประเทศอังกฤษทางด้านธุรกิจเนี่ยมันน่าสนใจมากโดยเฉพาะที่มหาวิทยาลัย The University of Exeter นะครับผมเหตุผลแรกครับคือการที่มหาวิทยาลัย University of Exeter เนี่ยคือ Triple Accredited Business School ซึ่งทั้งโลกครับมีไม่เกิน100สถาบันไม่เกิน100มหาวิทยาลัยที่มี Triple Accredited ตัวนี้นะครับ Exeter คือหนึ่งในนั้นแล้วเป็น1ใน24มหาวิทยาลัยของอังกฤษที่มี accreditation ตัวนี้ด้วยเพราะฉะนั้นเรียกว่าคุณภาพเนี่ยสุดยอดมากๆครับเดี๋ยวเรามาดูกันว่า accreditation มันมีอะไรกันนะครับตัวที่2ครับก็คือ career service ซึ่งมหาวิทยาลัยในอังกฤษต้องบอกกันว่าจุดมุ่งหมายแล้วก็เขาให้ความสำคัญกับทางด้านการเรียนการสอนประสบการณ์นักเรียนและที่สำคัญครับคือนะครับคือเรื่องของ career service ซึ่งประเทศอังกฤษให้ความสำคัญกับ career service Exeter ถือว่าเป็นอันดับที่1นะครับของนักเรียนที่จบมาแล้วมีคุณภาพและนักเรียนได้งานโดยเฉพาะของมหาวิทยาลัย Exeter เนี่ยมี career service ที่จะช่วยให้น้องๆหางานได้ด้วยนะครับอันที่3ครับคือ quality of teaching and course นะครับผมสุดท้ายนะครับก็คือจะเป็นด้าน location และก็ด้าน research ครับผมAmy could you please continue
Yeah, of course. So starting with the rankings, so for example, these are the top rankings for the Exeter Business School. So we have excellence in teaching, learning and research. So as I mentioned before, the business school in the UK is the best for graduate destinations, which means that our students go on to really good graduate jobs. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But these are the rankings. So we're top 10 for all business school disciplines. We're second in the world for the MBA. We're 83rd for Global Masters. So you can see this is really important when you choose a business course to look at the ranking. Exeter is currently 149th in the prestigious QS World University Rankings. And it's just important to check that the course you select in the UK has a good ranking. Moving on, Exeter Business School is also triple accredited, which means that we have these accreditations from these different organizations, and it shows the quality of teaching. It shows that what they're teaching you matches with what the industry require you to know and be able to do. So this is really important. So the business school you select in the UK should have some sort of accreditation. It's unusual to have all three, but Exeter is one of the leading business schools, but do check who they're accredited with. Moving on, these are more accreditations and memberships, and this sort of gives me more opportunity to explain how it works. So the CIM, for example, the Chartered Institute of Marketing, is a recognized qualification globally for employers. And if you do marketing units within your business degree, then they will be accredited by the CIM, which means that they're recognized by employers. And it means that you could take your CIM as part of your degree, or at least take some units that will go towards your CIM, which is great because it all helps with having extra qualifications when you're going for jobs at the end. So all of these, you'll recognize some of these are for finance, some of these are for business, but they're really important to have, and you can see that Exeter works with many different accreditations and membership. So looking at employability, so we're number one business school in the UK for graduate outcomes. So what this means is 94% of our students have secured a graduate level job. So that's a job that's often related to their degree, or they've progressed on to further postgraduate study. So at most UK universities, in fact, I think at all, we have employability services, which means that you can go along, you meet the employability team, and they will train you in getting your CV ready, setting up your LinkedIn account, giving presentations. So at Exeter, we do a thing called the Exeter Award. It's a free qualification, and you go along to the Central Employability Service and you take this qualification, and they train you to network and to present and all the different skills you need to get a job. So most universities will offer a similar qualification, but not all, but Exeter does the Exeter Award. Now, Exeter also has an extra employability service, which is just specific and special for the business school. And they hold lots of different events. So we have about 300 employability events on campus every year. So people can come along, meet an employer, chat to an employer, and you sort of start your networking. The employability service can help you with a job locally, but it can also help you with an internship if you wanted to get work experience, or ultimately it can help you get a job when you graduate. So this is really important, especially because in the UK now, we have a graduate route visa, so you can stay for 2 years and work in the UK. So as long as you work closely with the employability service, we would hope that you'd have a really good job to graduate and stay in the UK if you choose, or go home and work.
ครับก็คุณเอมมี่ได้พูดถึงเรื่อง postgraduate route นะครับ postgraduate route เนี่ยคือกฎตัวใหม่ของประเทศอังกฤษคือถ้าเกิดน้องๆสนใจที่จะไปเรียนต่ออังกฤษในเริ่มต้นตั้งแต่ปีนี้เป็นต้นไปนะครับน้องๆสามารถอยู่ต่อแล้วก็ทำงานหางานได้ที่ประเทศอังกฤษสูงสุดถึง2 ปีเลยสำหรับเรียนปริญญาตรีและก็เรียนปริญญาโทนะครับส่วนปริญญาเอกอยู่ได้สูงสุดถึง3 ปีซึ่งเราจะเห็นแล้วครับว่า Exeter นะครับมีทั้ง reputation มีทั้ง ranking แล้วก็มีทั้ง career service ที่ดีนี้คือองค์ปัจจัยที่สำคัญมากเลยทีนี้พี่แบงค์รู้ครับว่านักเรียนไทยส่วนใหญ่เนี่ยบางคนอาจจะมาจาก background ที่ไม่ได้ตรงสายมาบางคนอาจจะเรียนสาขาอื่นมาแต่ว่าไม่ได้มีโอกาสมาเรียนทางด้าน business มาก่อนแต่ว่าตอนป.โทอยากที่จะไปเรียนทางด้าน business หรือบางคนจบมาปุ๊บแล้วก็อยากที่จะเรียนต่อป.โทเลยเดี๋ยวเพิ่งจะถามเขาเพิ่มเติมนิดนึงครับกับเรื่อง career service ว่า career service มีความสามารถในการช่วยเหลืออะไรตรงนี้หรือเปล่า so Amy we could thank you for this and we could see that Exeter is really serious in student success and we appreciate to see that the employability services is working hard and proactively with recruitment partner. I heard you mentioned that there are 400 recruitment partners visiting the university yearly to help students. And another key point that I took from here is that your employability service, working with students to help students branding themselves. And here is a lot of the concern for Thai students because a lot of us are freshly graduated, or a lot of us are coming from different backgrounds. For example, I might be graduated from a degree in engineering and I choose a program in finance, just for example. How will the career service, what kind of expertise area they can support students who are fresh graduate from undergrad and continue their master degree directly? And second question is, how are they helping students who are transferring their knowledge from one area to the second area?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. It's very common for students to do a general degree and then specialize at master's level in something very specific. So that's very common. So at the employability service, you can actually work with a mentor. So you can have a mentor that comes in, say they're someone that's working in business, and they sort of buddy you up with them and they can talk to you about their career and the steps that they did when they graduated and how they became working in their company. So that's quite helpful. The career service, like I said, does the Exeter Award. So just by attending that, it's a free qualification and you'll meet lots of other students who are also sort of changing subjects or becoming more specialist. and they'll encourage you to attend certain events and learn more about the industry and the opportunities available in the area that you've chosen to study. And that's really important because sometimes you can do work experience or an internship, it maybe even in your holiday, just to build a relationship with that employer, but also to understand, oh, okay, this is a good job. Oh no, I don't want to do this job. I want to do something else. So it's really important that, you know, you're having a really good time at university and you've got all your course to do and all your friends, but it's important to take some extra time to go in and use the employability service while it's there, because it's free and it's there for you when you're at uni and also afterwards when you're an alumni. They do lots of alumni events and they keep you quite well networked, so it's very important.
Are there a lot of alumni from Thailand, Amy?
Yes, there are lots of alumni from Thailand. They do sometimes meet up in Bangkok, and they have a very proactive Facebook page. So we have a Thai society at Exeter. So if you're thinking of joining Exeter, it's a good idea to join the Thai Society Facebook page, because they do often meet in Bangkok, and then you can ask them anything you like really about Exeter.
And I think business is all about networking. Thank you so much, Amy. น้องๆถ้ามีคำถามสามารถถามแชทเข้ามาได้เลยนะครับเดี๋ยวพี่ยังจะถามไลฟ์ให้เลยเนาะถ้าเกิดใครมีคำถามเรื่องคณะเรื่องหลักสูตรเรื่องคะแนนเรื่องค่าใช้จ่ายหรือว่าเรื่องตัวเมืองทักแชทเข้ามาได้เลยแล้วถ้าเกิดน้องๆชอบไลฟ์นี้นะครับกดไลค์กดแชร์ให้เราหน่อยนะครับผมโอเคAmy, I will continue with your slide.
Okay. So this is just a very basic list of our undergraduate degrees. So these are the 3-year degrees, and this just shows the typical range of courses that you'll get in the UK if you study business. So, you know, you can do anything from business analytics to business and the environment to international business with modern languages. There's a huge range of different business courses. And the best way to choose the right course for you is to look at what we call the modules, which are the classes within the degree. So I'm going to show you some of them as an example in a minute. These are our postgraduate subjects. So Exeter Business School is really big and it offers this huge range of different courses. So although you're in the business school, you may be doing economics, you might be doing finance and accounting. Today we're just going to focus mainly on the business courses, but I get a lot of Thai students on certain courses. So I thought I would highlight them to you because I thought that would help you see where other Thai students often come. So we get a lot of students on accounting and finance from Thailand. We also get most of our students coming on international business or management. These two courses are really popular. They require a slightly lower IELTS grade and a 2-1 degree. We do get some Thai students on the MBA at Exeter, but you do need a lot of work experience before, because you bring your work experience into the course so that you can give input. Other courses that are really popular is FinTech, financial technology, and obviously business analytics has always been a very popular course from Thailand. Finally, this course here, Entrepreneurship and Innovation Management, is very popular, and you learn by doing. It's run by a very charismatic and passionate guy called 𝐲𝐿. And if you Google it on our YouTube channel, there's a film there that talks a lot about our entrepreneurship course. So if you want to start your own business, that's definitely a good course. It's all about setting up business, whereas international business is more about working with multinational companies and the roles within them. So moving on, I'm going to give the example of the international business course that we offer here at Exeter. So the first thing you would check is the grading and the ranking. So it's triple accredited business school. It's top 100 in the Financial Times. And you can enhance your degree with study abroad opportunities. So they're all good. They tick all the boxes. And then you look at the compulsory modules. So every degree will have certain classes that you absolutely have to do. So if you look on our website, you can click on the course code and it will tell you a bit more about each module. So when you're choosing a business course, you should think, yeah, I want to study all of the compulsory modules. All of them sound really interesting to me. And then you would look at the optional modules. So from here, you would be able to choose 3 or 4 modules. So you can see that these are not all of them, and because we have a lot of very leading academics, we can offer a real range of different courses that you can take. So, for example, part of international business, you could do marketing and product innovation. You could do business, digital business models. You could do domestic and international portfolio management. So again, you can click on here and learn a bit more about the module on the website. And when you're choosing your degree, the core modules, you should think, yes, they're really interesting. And then the optional modules, you don't need to choose them now because you'll learn more as you go. But it's important that some of them look really interesting to you, and that's what you want to study at this point. When you're doing a master's degree in the UK, it's very you can't change. So once you've chosen international business, you can't do the first term and change. It's very unusual to change courses. So it's really important to do your research and be very passionate about the area of the subject study before you start.
ครับก็สำหรับหลักสูตรปริญญาโทของประเทศอังกฤษเนอะอย่างเราก็น่าจะได้เห็นกันแล้วความแตกต่างของหลักสูตรปริญญาโทที่พี่เห็นของอังกฤษที่แตกต่างจากประเทศอื่นๆหรือว่าของประเทศไทยนะครับของประเทศอังกฤษเนี่ยสมมติน้องเรียนวิชา MSc in International Business น้องๆจะมีวิชาเรียน2แบบนะน้องๆจะมีวิชาเรียน2แบบแรกจะเป็น compulsory module ก็คือเอาง่ายๆแต่อังกฤษคือเรียกว่า core module นั่นเองเนาะเป็นหลักสูตรวิชาที่น้องๆจะต้องมีความรู้เพื่อที่จะเป็น international business นะครับผมวิชาก็จะมีแบบพวก current issue in international business plan people management accounting international human resource management อะไรต่างๆนะครับผมนี่เป็น core module ครับแต่ว่าพอมาถึงหลักสูตรที่เรียกว่าเป็น optional module เนี่ยนี่หมายความว่าน้องๆจะสามารถตกแต่งองค์ความรู้ของตัวเองได้น้องมีความรู้ที่เป็นด้าน core แล้วใช่ไหมแต่น้องมีความสนใจอย่างในสไลด์เนี่ยเขียนว่า optional module น้องสนใจมีทางด้าน marketing ก็ได้นะน้องก็ไปเรียนโมดูลที่เรียกว่า marketing and new product innovation หรือถ้าเกิดน้องๆสนใจด้าน branding ก็มีวิชา brand design ให้น้องด้วยถ้าเกิดน้องๆมาทางด้านสายเทคโนโลยีแน่นอนตอนนี้มันโควิดมาทุกคนแบบต้องใช้เทคโนโลยีในการทำธุรกิจนะครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นระบบต่างๆระบบ SaaS ระบบ Cloud ระบบที่ใช้ในองค์กรน้องก็ไปเรียนทางด้าน Digital Business Model ก็ได้เนอะนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นการเรียนของประเทศอังกฤษที่มองว่าจุดแข็งของเขาเนี่ยมันมีให้น้องเรียน Core Module ซึ่งเป็นองค์ความรู้หลักแล้วก็มี optional module ให้กับน้องๆเรียนเพื่อเป็นองค์ความรู้เสริมว่าน้องๆอยากเสริมทักษะตัวเองไปทางด้านไหนนะครับ Okay yes Amy thank you so much back on to you
Okay so moving on to the next part. So in England, one of the things that's really good when you're studying business is we have very strong academic wellbeing programs, and all universities take this very seriously. So in the UK, when you do a master's, you always usually complete on time, and it's very unusual for you not to complete your degree. Whereas in America, people often take a few more years or they have to retake certain areas. Whereas due to the academic wellbeing in the UK and the way it's structured, you should finish on time and you should always complete. So you have an academic induction, which are social events that are organised by the college, and you network. So you meet all the students you're going to work with and all the lecturers you're going to work with. And it's really very fun at the start of the course. You then have a personal tutor who's with you throughout your course for the first year. And they get to know you, your strengths, your weaknesses. You meet with them regularly and talk about your projects and your work. So they really check in with you and make sure that you're understanding the course and that you're doing really well. And then finally at Exeter, we have academic wellbeing advisors, which are based within our buildings on the campus. So if you had a problem and you need an extension or you've fallen behind with some work, you can go and speak to someone who's there for you. And can organise an extension. You don't need to email and wait for a response. You can go and chat face to face. So there's lots of academic support. Exeter also provides free English language support. We call it in-sessional. So you can go along into our foundation college during term time and they'll give you additional English language support. We also have a centre in the old library that will help you with things like essay structure, coursework. As long as you write the content, they will check the English for you when you're just starting out. So there's lots and lots of academic support available. Just moving on. This is looking at our top academics. So Dr. William Casely is one of our senior lecturers who runs the entrepreneur course that I mentioned earlier. So you can look on the Exeter website and find the really cool academics, and you can find out all about, like it explains here, that he's had 28 years experience in the industry, 16 of them in senior management roles. So he really knows what he's doing, and he's teaching you how to start a business. So I do encourage you, no matter what UK university you decide to go onto the website and really check out the academics that will be teaching you. If we look at another academic, so this academic teaches on international business, and you can look on the website and see the research that he's currently doing. So he's researching innovation, internationalization and performance, non-market strategies and institutions. So you can have a look and think, oh, that's quite interesting, that's relevant to my course. So yeah, the academics who teach you really make the course. They're very friendly, they're very passionate about what they do. And many of them at Exeter are currently publishing top research. So that makes it very relevant and very up to date, the teaching. So I think finally, my final point really about the business school and why you should study business in the UK is the student lifestyle. So the UK offers a real range of different destinations, but the student lifestyle at Exeter is really lovely. We have a very outdoorsy lifestyle, very beautiful, beautiful campus, and you can walk from the campus to the town of Exeter. And if you follow our Facebook page, or we have an Instagram account, which is Exeter Uni Life, and it's actually run by the students and they put up all their photos. So that will give you kind of a quick peek into what it's like to study business in the UK. So going on to talk a bit about Exeter and why choose Exeter. Exeter is one of the top 200 UKs worldwide. Like I said, we're 149th ranked in the QS World Rankings. We're a member of the prestigious Russell Group, which you've probably heard of. And we have consistently high levels of student satisfaction, which means you're asked in a national student survey when they leave the university, and they always say they had the most amazing time at Exeter. We're also one of the safest cities in the UK, which again adds to your lifestyle because you can walk around, it's all very safe and friendly. We have very good graduate employability. So 95% of our graduates are in employment or further study within 6 months of graduating. So that's really important when you're investing your time and money in a degree. So Exeter has 22,000 students, and we have students from 178 countries. We currently have about 200 students on campus from Thailand, and they're mainly at master's level within the business school, but we also have some doing undergraduate courses and on a range of courses across the university. So to finish, Exeter's course fees are between 11,000 and 30,000 depending on the course, and it's listed on the website when you choose the course. But we're really pleased to be able to offer Global Excellence Scholarships. So these are either £5,000 or £10,000, and you can apply for these at Exeter once you've been offered a place on the course. So to apply for a master's degree, you would apply through our website with the help of IDP. If you're applying for an undergraduate degree, you would need to apply through UCAS in the normal way. But once you've been offered a place on the course, they can then give you the chance to apply for a scholarship. And you apply online through the website. It's very easy. And most Thai students, if you have good grades, should receive a £5,000 Global Excellence Award. So yeah.
Right.
So that sort of brings me to the end, yeah.
Yes, Amy, thank you so much. And I think today we learned a little bit better what make Exeter Business School a good school for anyone to consider. Something that I really pick up from this one is that you have a range of alumni network in Thailand. And to be successful in business, I think it's all go down to networking, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And there's a lot of beyond academic components. We talk about rankings, we talk about reputation, we talk about research. But something that really strike out is, again, is your career service, that you are providing the mentorship for students. You're sending out students to different company to have them trial and errors, right? To see if they really like what they are doing and decide on what their next career path should be. Helping students putting up their LinkedIn profile, cover letters, help with the interview practice. This is again is a good gateway for students to getting into what they want for their career plans. We have a question here. There's one of the student asked us, what would be the typical GPA? I know you did mention 2.1.
Yeah.
You did mention 2.1 for
Yeah.
Thai students.
Yeah.
How would that convert into Thai GPA?
Let me just show you. Oh, this is our campus, but I'll spin past that. So we have, so for GPA, is it for a master's? Yeah. Postgrad. Yeah. So the typical GPA for us would be a 2.1 would be a 3 GPA. A first would be 3.5. And that's from these institutions, so the prestigious universities in Thailand. If you've gone to a different university, we also recognise them as being very good. And your GPA would need to be slightly higher, 3.2. So most of our business courses require minimum 3.2 or 3. Some of them only require a 2.2, which is a 2.9. All of them will require IELTS of 6.5 or 6. So some of the courses, particularly marketing, requires an IELTS of 7. So do have a look on the website page and check that your IELTS is going to be strong enough, your English language qualification. If it's not, we have INTO, which is a foundation college based in the heart of our campus. And so you can come for 6 weeks or 12 weeks and do a pre-sessional English course if you need to get onto the course within the business school. Because the business school is so highly ranked, the grades are quite high and the English language requirement is quite high. But we do have many Thai students. I'll go back to this is the Thai Society. We have a Thai Society, and that's one of the beautiful beaches here. But this is the campus, and you can see here that's the business school. So it's a very beautiful campus. We're very lucky.
Yeah. Great. So we're saying we're looking at somewhat 3.2 to 3.5 for business school.
Yeah, or 2 or 3. Yeah, it's between 3 or 3.2 because most courses require a 2.1.
Okay, that's great. So, but again, if anyone coming from under the requirement, then we can also consider into pathway program that could also bring you to the Exeter Business School. Is that correct?
And I should also mention that if your GPA is a little bit lower and you have had like 3 years work experience in a relevant place for your course, they will also count some of your work experience. So if your GPA is a little bit low, say it's 2.9 or 2.8, but you've had 3 or 4 years work experience in business, then that could help your application. So I would still encourage you to apply.
Okay, thank you. And there's a few more questions on scholarship. Are this scholarship automatic, or do we need to have additional applications?
You do need to apply. So you can only apply when you've been offered a place. It can be conditional. So they can say, we'd love to have you as long as you get your IELTS or as long as you have something, a qualification, a certain grade. So at that point, even if it's a conditional offer, you can apply for a scholarship. The scholarship is on our funding database on the website, which is just easy to find. And it's a very short form. I think it asks you 5 questions. And there's a maximum word count. I think it might be 500, 300, 500
no, I
words.
think it's 300.
So it's very short.
Yeah. Very short, but really compact, right? So the way to answer it, you have to answer with precision, I would say.
Yes, which is much easier. So you don't have to write a massive essay. You just have to explain how the scholarship will affect your life, and they ask you some very specific questions about the course, and you send that in. And then we have 3 different times in the year. So we have one decision before Christmas, one straight after Christmas in like January, February, and the last application phase is in April. So you need to make sure you don't miss the applications, and you do definitely have to apply. It doesn't come automatically.
would apply early with IDP help in terms of decision making?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, everyone gets offered a place depending on their merit and their qualifications. But the earlier you apply, particularly for scholarships, the more scholarships are available. So obviously, if we've already allocated 2 lots of scholarships, if you're going for the April scholarship, then there may be less funding available. So yeah, I would always encourage people that are looking for funding to apply as early as they can. Yeah.
นะครับก็การสมัครเอา scholarship ของ Exeter ไม่ยากนะครับคือน้องๆต้องถือeither conditional offer หรือว่า unconditional offer เมื่อน้องถือเอกสารเหล่านี้แล้วน้องๆสามารถที่จะทำใบสมัครในการขอเรื่องทุนการศึกษาที่มีมูลค่าประมาณ 5,000 ปอนด์ได้นะครับผมซึ่งง่ายๆครับทาง Exeter ให้เขียนทั้งหมด300 คำครับบอกว่าทุนตัวนี้จะ impactful กับacademic life ของน้องยังไงได้บ้างซึ่งของ IDP ก็ช่วยเหลือน้องๆตลอดเนอะในการทำในการดูข้อมูลในการศึกษาหรือว่าในการเขียนข้อมูลขึ้นมานะครับผมใครสนใจติดต่อ IDP เข้ามาเนอะแล้วก็คุณเอมี่เขาพูดมาเมื่อสักครู่เลยเขาบอกว่ายิ่งสมัครเร็วโอกาสที่ได้ทุนมันมีเยอะกว่าเพราะว่าทุนของเขามีแบ่งเป็น3รอบแล้วทุนแต่ละรอบเนี่ยมันมาไม่เหมือนกันเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าเรายิ่งสมัครเร็วถือ offer ไว้ก่อนไม่ว่าจะเป็น conditional offer หรือ unconditional offerน้องๆอย่างน้อยถือสิทธิ์ของน้องไว้ก่อนนะครับผมหวังว่านี้จะตอบคำถามทั้ง2ท่านนะที่ถามเรื่อง funding ด้วยหรือว่าทางเรื่อง scholarship ด้วยนะครับอันนี้มีคำถามเพิ่มเติม we have one more question here ถ้าได้รับการโอเคคำถามนะครับคือถ้าได้รับการ offer แล้วทำการสมัครทุนผลการสมัครทุนจะออกหลังจากการสมัครนานประมาณไหนครับ Okay, this is another question related to the timeline, Amy. So once we applied and got an offer from the University of Exeter, how long do we expect until we hear anything back about the scholarship opportunities?
Okay, that's a good question. So once you've applied and been offered a place, you should then look at the funding database and they will explain the 3 different deadlines. So whichever time, it depends on the time of year that you're applying, but they'll give you a deadline. So you should, they'll give you a deadline to apply and they'll give you the date that you'll hear back. So it depends on what part, if you're early, middle or late, but usually you would hear back within a few months, which is why it's good to apply early because you know where you are. All the scholarship applications go to a board and they get decided. So it does take a little time, but the website will explain. Perfect. Yeah, the website, that's correct. It's exeter.ac.uk/funding. I think it's, yeah, and then you go through and you say you're an international student and you're from Thailand, and then they give you all the different options. So we have everything from sports scholarships to global excellence to 𝐲𝐵Link. There is lots of different funding, and they all have different deadlines. So it's best to check on the funding database.
ครับก็สำหรับหลังจากที่เราได้ออฟเฟอร์แล้วนะครับผลการประกาศเนี่ยครับคุณเอมี่แนะนำว่าให้เราเข้าไปดูในเว็บไซต์ของ Exeter นะครับคือ www.exeter.ac.uk/funding fundingนะครับผม www.exeter.ac.uk/funding นะครับเราจะเห็นเลยครับว่าเดดไลน์และการประกาศผลมีวันไหนบ้างนะครับโดยคุณเอมี่ย้ำอีกครั้งครับว่าสมัครเร็วเราจะได้ผลแล้วก็โอกาสที่จะได้ทุนมีมากกว่าเพราะฉะนั้นถ้าใครสนใจนะครับการเตรียมตัวเอกสารการสมัครประเทศอังกฤษสามารถติดต่อสอบถามเข้ามาทางช่องทาง IDP Line ได้เลยนะครับผมมีทั้ง Line มีทั้ง Messenger นะครับแล้วก็เบอร์โทรติดต่อเข้ามาบริษัทสามารถโทรเข้ามาแล้วก็สอบถามได้เลยว่าการศึกษาประเทศอังกฤษมีมหาวิทยาลัยไหนบ้างแล้วก็มีคณะไหนบ้างต้องการเตรียมตัวยังไงเดี๋ยวเจ้าหน้าที่แนะผมจะติดต่อกลับเข้าไปให้ข้อมูลเพิ่มเติมนะครับวันนี้ใครมีคำถามอะไรเพิ่มเติมไหมครับสำหรับเซสชั่นไลฟ์ของเราวันนี้ Okay, so Amy, it has been a pleasure to chat with you and talking with you even though we are remotely in the UK and Thailand. One thing I really appreciate on this pandemic is that I think it's bring the world a little closer, right?
Yeah.
Everything is just beyond. Everything is not 9 hours away now. Everything is just on the click of a fingers, and you can connect to one another. And this is definitely something I see why students should consider to study in the UK in this moment. Because I know that a lot of things, academic side, there are a lot of changes. There are a lot of things going on with the COVID that academic will bring to the table. So that students will learn and they will be able to learn new knowledge and new practice in this new way of living and how to best drive the business into this new technological era, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So I think being in the UK, study at the top universities like University of Exeter, triple crown accredited, will be a path to their career success.
Definitely. It's definitely a great start in life, especially like with your qualifications, but also with the friends that you make. I think a lot of my international students make friends for life at Exeter and keep in touch for many, many years in the future. Yeah, we've definitely learnt to use technology in the last year. Exeter's always had an online platform called 𝐿𝐵, which is an online learning platform. And you could always watch the lectures back. We used to record them. So if you wanted to revise, you could watch the lecture back. So we've enhanced all of our online technology. So there's now loads more resources online. And although we may not need them because we endeavour to teach face-to-face this year, we will still use the online platform because it has enhanced our teaching. And as an overseas student, having it all online really helps because if you found the English a bit tricky when you first start, you can listen to it again. So yeah, the pandemic has brought some positives, even though it's also been quite isolating at times. But yeah, we're very much looking forward to welcoming our Thai students next month onto the Exeter campus.
Okay, thank you so much, Amy. And should there be any future events, I would encourage students to join us in IDP upcoming events to learn more about their opportunities to be in the UK. So for this session, thank you for Miss Amy Chandler for assisting us in this live session, and we're looking forward for a good start of the year. Thank you, everyone. ขอบคุณทุกคนนะครับ สวัสดีครับ
Thank you.
Turn your dream into reality. Connect with our study abroad specialists.